This assignment, we're going to be given all three forms: standard form, vertex form, factored form, and I should give an overview, but this will be an overview of how to find those things given these forms. So if you have standard form, how do you find the zeros? Well, you can obviously graph it in Desmos, so it'll give you the answer, but what we use for the zeros is the quadratic formula. You could factor it though. It factors x plus 4x plus 2. Quickly see that the zeros are -4 and -2. But we're going to do the quadratic formula. That's negative b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's -6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8 all over 2 times 1. So -6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 32, which is 4 over 2. And that equals -6 plus or minus 2 over 2. So you get -6 plus 2 over 2, -6 minus 2 over 2. -6 plus 2 is -4 over 2. -4 over 2 is -2. And then the other one, -6 minus 2 is -8 over 2, which is -4. That would be our smaller value. So if you ever forgot how to do that, you could watch the video on the quadratic formula. Or you could do the factoring method if you want to. Now, what about the vertex? So the vertex for the standard form is going to be negative b over 2a. So in our case, it's going to be -6 over 2 times 1, which is -3. All right, we got our x coordinate. So to get our y coordinate, we plug it back in. -9 plus 8 is -1. And there you go. That's for standard form. So quadratic formula. In this formula, it's actually the hardest standard form. You'll find out the rest is kind of easier. So for factored form, pretty quick to find those zeros. T minus 4 equals, or T minus 4 times T plus 8. You set it equal to 0. And you'll see that T equals 4 and -8. Easy. What about the vertex though? So if you're given factored form, to find the vertex, you're going to average those two x-intercepts, add them up and divide by 2. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then we're going to plug it back in. So the y for the vertex is going to be h of -2. Similar to that last one, right? We plug it back in to get that y value. And I'll get -6 times 6. Which is -36. So there's our coordinates for the vertex. So last we have our vertex forms. The vertex will be easy. We can already go over that. Goes left 14 and down 49. Right? Now what about for the zeros? So r plus 14 squared minus 49 equals 0. We'll add the 49. Square root both sides. We do that in a different color so we could see that as an operation. And that gets rid of that squared. So now we're going to have r plus 14 equals plus or minus 7, because the square root of 49 is 7. Then subtract the 14. I'll do that in a different color. So r equals -14 plus or minus 7. So -14 plus 7 is going to be -7. -14 minus 7 is -21. And that's how you do each one of these. So that's a good overview of all the different forms there, the 3 different forms, and how to find the main features of those 3 forms.